Hi everyone, this is Veronica and today we will discuss various achievements of Indian scientists in 2018. So see here, all the achievements that we are going to discuss, around 10 to 13 achievements we'll talk. We won't go much in detail of those achievements because that could make we can make a separate lecture for them if there's a demand for a particular topic. But right now my aim is to acquaint you with all the major achievements, because mostly we don't study these things and then suddenly in prelims or any government job where MCQs asked, achievement is asked and you lack there. So I'll tell you where to focus. You don't need to know the concept behind the invention, but what is the invention, what is the achievement, what is the main key word there, or what is the institute involved there, we'll talk about them today. So we'll talk about that. So let's start. For my video updates, you can follow me on Instagram and the PDF will be uploaded on my Facebook and Telegram channel. So this is a channel StudyIQ. If you're preparing for any government exam, our pen drive and tablet courses are also available. For additional information, you can call on these numbers or you can visit our website. Now, what is the relevance? As I told you, achievements of Indians in science and technology is very important. It could be asked in exam, and then these are like less highlighted in news always, but you can see the questions coming in many GK relevant questions and topic in exams, so you should know about them. So let's start. So I should tell you that in 2018 India has actually witnessed several scientific developments and very promising technologies also in fields ranging from nanotechnology to space weather. So now today we'll talk about such of these stories that give us a slight idea of important developments reported by Indian scientists. So let's see what is the first development here. A gel that can protect farmers from toxic pesticides. Now see, most farmers you might have seen, they do not wear any protective gear while they are spraying chemicals in fields, which often leads to pesticide exposure and toxicity. You know, pesticides are they have very harmful effect on the health of a person. So therefore, now remember the name of the institute. It is, I will write here, Stem Cell Biology, Regenerative Medicine, and it is in Bangalore. Okay, now this is the institute you need to remember. They developed actually this protective gel, right? They developed a protective gel that is polyoxime. So this is the highlighted word. That is what I was telling you. We won't go in detail how they prepared this gel, what is the science behind it. So what you need to remember from like exam oriented view, this is the institute which is involved, Stem Cell Biology Regenerative Medicine, Bangalore, and they made a protective gel for farmers against these pesticides, and this protective gel is polyoxime, right? And this can be applied on skin and it can break down toxic chemicals into safe substances so that it can prevent them from going deep into the skins and organs, like your organs like brains and lungs. So the research group has planned to develop a mask also that can deactivate the pesticides. So right now they have discovered this gel also, but now they want to make a mask also to deactivate pesticides, right? So this is the first invention. Now let's move towards the second. Now second is world's thinnest material with novel technique. So let's see what is it. So see, pushing the envelope in nanotechnology. Here this development is under nanotechnology. Here researchers of which institute, that is important, IIT Gandhinagar, that is important here, right? Indian Institute of Technology Gandhinagar, they have developed a material that is 1 lakh times thinner than the sheet of paper. So can you imagine how thin a sheet of paper is, and this particular material is even thinner, 1 lakh times thinner than the sheet of paper. So now you might be thinking, what is the benefit of this particular invention? See, researchers synthesized it in 2D material, that is 2-dimensional material of just 1 nanometer of thickness. So this 2D material has just 1 nanometer of thickness And just for your exam knowledge, I must tell you, the human hair is about 80,000 nanometer. So can you imagine the thickness of this 2D material? That is 1 nanometer. Our hair is 80,000 nanometer. So they have used magnesium diboride. So I have highlighted this. You should know this material. They have used magnesium diboride, and it is a compound of boron. Okay. Now this is said to be world's thinnest material, and now the applications are that from next generation batteries, in their batteries it can be used to ultraviolet absorbing films also, right? So this is the usage from batteries to UV films, UV absorbing films it could be used. This is the second. Now let's move to the third. This is gene editing applied to banana genome. So about gene editing, I have made so many lectures. What is gene editing? What are genetic modified crops? So just in brief, let me tell you, whenever we do some manipulation with the DNA of the cell, it is known as gene editing. Whether we are deleting, we are adding, or we are doing any kind of duplication, deletion, anything. So this is gene editing, when we are editing the gene. So now using this gene editing technique, CRISPR-Cas9. So CRISPR-Cas9 I won't explain here because it is long. You can find it in one of my video on StudyIQ. I have explained the technique also, what is CRISPR-Cas9 technique. So now using this, because this enzyme acts like a scissors to cut the DNA, for your knowledge, right? So here using this particular technique, researchers at National Agriculture Food Biotechnology Institute, National Agricultural Food Biotech Institute, Mohali, it is situated in Mohali, they edited this banana genome. And this is first such work in fruit crop in India. A lot of genetic editing things are happening in our country, but it has not taken place in any fruit. So now banana is the first fruit where gene editing has taken place. And banana is fourth most important food crop after wheat, rice and corn in terms of gross value of production in our country. So first comes wheat, then comes rice, then comes corn, and then comes banana in our country for its gross value of production. So this gene editing could be deployed to improve nutritional quality, agronomical important traits, as well as pathogen resistance in banana. So when we have applied this technique on banana, it could be used for various reasons. We can enhance the nutrition of the banana. And using this technology, we can enhance nutrition of other crops also. And then pathogen resistance. Pathogens are the disease causing organisms, microorganisms. We can even develop pathogen resistance in banana now also. So this is very important. Now moving to the third one. This is discoveries to tackle Zika, dengue, JE, that is Japanese encephalitis, and chikungunya. So about these diseases, you know how they are caused. There are separate videos by different educators on our channel also. So now various discoveries have happened regarding them also. For the first, this is National Brain Research Center at Manesar. They have figured out cellular and molecular mechanisms that show Zika virus. So here we are first talking about Zika virus. It causes microcephaly. You need to remember this, microcephaly. Or this microcephaly means small size head. Okay, in babies. So this is called microcephaly. Zika is responsible for this. Now researchers discovered that envelope protein of Zika virus that affects proliferation rates of human neural stem cells and promotes premature but faulty neuron formation. So finally they have discovered that protein. So it would help in fighting against this Zika virus also. Now Regional Center for Biotechnology, Faridabad. What they have done, they have identified again a key protein. Here also they have identified a protein which helps dengue as well as Japanese JE, that is Japanese encephalitis virus, replicate inside human body by inhibiting antiviral cytokines. So we have certain cytokines in our body which prohibits the growth of virus, but this protein inhibits antiviral cytokines and help dengue viruses and these Japanese encephalitis viruses in our body to replicate. So this finding could pave way for development of targeted drugs for dengue and JE. So whenever we are able to identify some protein that is responsible for the problem in our body, so when we understand what is actually the problem, only then we can provide the targeted drug delivery systems. So that is why it is important. So now when we come to chikungunya, for detecting chikungunya, a group of researchers from MIT Noida, Jamia Millia Islamia University Delhi and Maharishi Dayanand University Rohtak, they have developed a biosensor here, right? So they have used molybdenum disulfide nanosheets. Okay, this biosensor is made up of molybdenum disulfide nanosheets. Okay, so this is what they have developed it for detecting chikungunya, because detecting chikungunya is also difficult. It depends upon the analysis of the doctor. When we go to him, and only then he can detect. So there's no particular method earlier. So now they have found this, developed this biosensor for it. Now let's move to your faster diagnostic tests for tuberculosis. Now see, the Translational Health Science and Technology Institute Faridabad AIIMS, they have jointly developed highly sensitive rapid tests, right? Rapid test for detection of TB infection. Earlier, you know that this TB test used to take 1 or 2 days for the result. We have to wait. They used to take our samples of sputum, and then now rapid test means, you might have seen how people test sugar at home. So those quick tests are known as rapid test. You might have seen pregnancy test kits, right? Likewise, now they have developed rapid test for TB also. So like, unlike current test, they use antibodies for detection for bacterial proteins in sputum samples. So these are like they are using ELISA. So you need not to go into detail of these things, or they are using ECS. So now just for your information, you need to know they are developing rapid test for tuberculosis also. Now next is new tool developed for autism screening. See, here about autism, when we talk about autism screening, what happened in many cases, autism is misdiagnosed as mental retardation and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So if a child is suffering from autism, lot of doctors misdiagnose. They said this child is mentally retarded, which is very wrong, because what is autism? Basically, autism is a spectrum. It refers to a broad range of conditions that are characterized by challenges with your social skills, repetitive behaviors, speech problems, non-verbal communication, right? But people think it is mental retardation, but it is not so. So now what has happened, early identifications and intervention may help children with autistic disorders when we are able to detect autism properly, so that so early detection will help curing the disease, also helping the children also. So to help this process, scientists at the Government Medical College Hospital Chandigarh, they have developed a tool for screening children for autism. Now Children Autism Screening Instrument CASI is designed to help community health workers to carry out initial screening for autism and hope for Alzheimer and Huntington patients. Now next is, so here we talked about autism. So we see a lot of discoveries have taken place in the field of biology and plus physics, because we are making many instruments also. So now this is hope for Alzheimer. So what is here? See, scientists of IISC, that is Indian Institute of Bengaluru, they have figured out the way memory deficit develops in early stages, resulting in Alzheimer. So you know the conditions of Alzheimer, people start to forget things, they forget it completely. Now they have found that early breaking down of a protein. So again here there is a protein that is known as fibrillar, okay, fibrillar actin. fibrillar actin, that is F-actin in short you can say. So this F-actin in the brain, it leads to disruption. So breakdown, basically what happened, they found that there is early breakdown of this F-actin in the brain, which leads to disruption in communication among nerve cells and consequently memory deficits. So this knowledge can be used to develop early diagnosis test in future. And now in another study done in fruit flies, researchers of Department of Genetics, Delhi University South Campus, they found that it was possible to restrict the progression of Huntington disease. We can stop it from moving forward and causing more damage to the health by increasing insulin signaling in the brain neuronal cells. So they have connected Huntington with insulin, right? So this you should know. Now they have developed a green technique that can address plaster of Paris pollution. You know, we use POP at our homes while doing paints and making designs. So it causes a lot of pollution. Now a team of scientists at Pune based National Chemical Laboratory, they have developed technique that helps recycle POP. So we need here, POP earlier could not be recycled. Now they have developed a technique to recycle this POP waste from hospitals in eco-friendly and economical way. That this is very important, and this new technique disinfects waste and converts it into useful products. So useful products can be made out of POP like ammonium sulfate, calcium bicarbonate. So this technique can also be used to disintegrate POP waste from idols immersed in water. You might have seen in Ganesh Puja. Okay. Now Stone Age tools genetic studies throw new light on early civilization. So it's about the new early civilization discoveries in our country. So see, the Stone Age tools discovered in a village Chennai suggest that a middle Paleolithic culture was present in India around 385,000 years ago, and roughly the same time that is known to have developed Africa and Europe. So this is something new because this discovery pushes back the period when populations with the middle Paleolithic culture may have inhabited India, and challenges popular theory that middle Paleolithic was brought to India by modern humans dispersing from Africa only around 1,25,000 years ago, right? So presently we believe that modern humans came to India from Africa, but this theory nullifies this thing. So in the north, a population genetic study has also revealed that Rors, Rors, this is very important, Rors, who inhabit modern Haryana, they came to Indus Valley when it was flourishing during Bronze Age and inducted West Eurasian genetic ancestry. So Rors, maybe this word could be asked in your any prelims exam. So next is Sikkim gets real-time landslide warning system. So now what is it? Because real-time landslide warning system is very important in the areas where landslides are very prominent, and this has been set up in Sikkim, Darjeeling belt of northeastern Himalayas. And this belt is actually very vulnerable to landslides. So this warning system, it consists of 200 sensors that can measure geophysical, hydrological parameters. What they can measure? Rainfall. Okay, they can measure pore pressure, seismic activities. Right, so this system is capable of warning about 24 hours in advance. So this is very important. In one of my video where I explained Titli cyclone, and we have seen how it was rare because cyclones usually move in one direction, but this Titli cyclone has taken a turn, and this has caused a lot of rainfall and landslides in the areas. So such warning systems can help to manage such disasters. Now it has been deployed by researchers of Kerala-based Amrita University and Sikkim State Disaster Management Authority. Okay, this has been deployed also. Now computing, when we talk about computing capacity of weather forecasting, they have got a boost. Obviously Sikkim is one example, and this 2018 during this year, the IITM is Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. They upgraded its computing capacity also for weather forecasting and climate monitoring, and they took a high performance computing, that is HPC, power to 6.8 petaflop. So this is where they like measure it. You just need to remember this. So with this, India has rose to 4th position, next only to UK, Japan and USA in terms of dedicated capacity for high performance computing resources for weather and climate purposes. Okay, so this is important. Next is scientists use silk polymer to develop artificial vertebral disc. So now see what is here. The scientists of Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati, they have developed a silk-based bioartificial disc that may find use in disc replacement therapy in future. You might have seen people getting disc problems and then they need the therapy, they need the replacement. So this group has developed fabrication procedure where a silk-based bioartificial disc adopting directional freezing technique. So with this technique, it could be so this artificial disc could be replaced. Our natural disc could be replaced with this artificial disc. So this disc mimics the internal intricacy of human disc also, and its mechanical properties too are similar to those of native ones. So the use of silk biopolymer to fabricate a biocompatible disc can reduce the cost of artificial disc in future. So this is very important. So this is we won't discuss much here because I have already made a separate video on this, on transgenic rice, which reduce arsenic accumulation because rice plant has a tendency to absorb arsenic a lot, and arsenic is very harmful for our humans, for our health, right? So I have talked about this CSIR. They have developed a transgenic rice inserting novel fungal gene. This fungal gene I have already told you, they cloned this methyl arsenic methyl transferase, that is known as VARS-M gene. So I have talked in detail about this in my video. So they cloned this VARS-M gene from a soil fungus and inserted into rice genome. So in another study, TERI School of Advanced Studies, they have developed an early flowering transgenic variety of mustard also. So these were the major significant developments in scientific field. So few more are there, like Department of Science and Technology, they launched National Mission of Cyber Physical Systems. We discussed this also. Indian Institute Astrophysics in Bangalore, they have commissioned India's first robotic telescope also to keep an eye on dynamic cosmos. So this is important. The ambitious India Neutrino Observatory project, it also got a go-ahead from National Green Tribunal. So it will also be developed. So these were the other significant developments around the field. So this is all for your objective, right? Because now after listening to this lecture, everything will go into your head. At least you have listened it somewhere, because these are least highlighted areas in the news, and it will help you in the exam. Thank you, and PDF will be uploaded on the Telegram channel.